All right. So, moving officially to Culture Corner. I mean, we have been talking about culture, but this video is by Simon Aklar, and this is What is Zajal? Virtual Zajal battle with my friend. I'm very excited to learn about this history. Currently going through jumping the hoops for diagnosis after watching the student loans crash and burn. That's fun. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, good luck to you. This is the video that we were talking about earlier. This video is kind of about Candace Owens, but not really. Yeah, I still need to watch this. I'm very intrigued about what this is about. Yeah, it really is brutal. And like I have a friend at the place that I used to work out before being pushed out for like speaking out against, I mean, for being queer and non-binary, but also for like speaking out against data suppression. Um Especially under this fascist regime, that a friend who was recently diagnosed with MS is going through all of these hurdles and is still not getting the accommodations that she is needing very greatly. And this just goes to show, like, once again, the dehumanizing process of it all of like, so you have to prove of like, yes, I have this experience. Yes, I experienced this kind of pain or this kind of detriment when it comes to existing in a world that is built for people who are considered quote unquote able bodied, that it's just a lot to be dealing with. And even when you have enormous amounts of so called proof, that it does not mean that you will be granted these accommodations either. When I was a worker not on disability pay, I was discriminated a lot because of being weird. I was exhibiting symptoms of my invisible disability, and they just decided to target me and harass me my entire time I stayed there, even forcing me to divulge personal medical information. Damn. Yeah, another like I'm really sorry that you experienced that, Aliana, but yeah, that it's not an isolated thing of many people experiencing this, and how yeah, invisible disability, what is considered invisible disability is so prevalent in society, and how really what it means is getting to the heart of who is considered able-bodied or not, of like if we weren't making all of these distinctions that are based off of who is considered quote unquote fit because of these like white supremacist Darwinist ways of thinking, especially, that we wouldn't have to be dealing with this to begin with. The proof for personal independence payment here is so abhorrent. If you are able to slightly cook and go to the bathroom alone, you are largely excluded from receiving help. Yeah, there there really are so many layers to all of that. Solidarity, visibility for disabled siblings. All right. Shall we learn about the history of Zajal?
In Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, Jordan, or other countries in the Middle East, and you say off, 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 there's a big chance that someone will reply to you with off. And this is the beauty of music and culture. Because in the midst of political fights, music unites people. Hey everyone, Simon here, and today we're gonna talk about a really nice form of Arabic poetry called Zajal. Zajal is Arabic poetry performed or sang in the colloquial dialect. It doesn't use the standard Arabic language, which is al-Fusha, so it's not like the standard Arabic poetry. يا زين يا زغلول نحن الموهبي وحرب وانا مثل النبي الحد نبي No one can pinpoint for sure the origins of Zajal, but the earliest record we have date back to the 10th century Andalusia or Al-Andalus. So it's said that Zajal, alongside with other Arabic poetry and arts, traveled from Al-Andalus to North Africa and then reached the Eastern Mediterranean. Zajal evolved especially in the Eastern Mediterranean. In Lebanon, for example, Zajal is considered one of the main traditions there. My friend Shadi and I, when I was in Lebanon, we used to always do these Zajal battles. And Zajal battle are the most popular form of Zajal in Lebanon, where like two people usually battle each other singing Zajal. So it's really similar to a rap battle. Me and Shadi used to always battle each other and write our own Zajal. But when I moved to Canada, it was really hard to do it face to face, but we still did it virtually, and I really want to share this with you guys. It's in Arabic, I will put the translation, and I really hope you enjoy.
لك يا أشقر شو رأيك بهالبردات نعمل تحدي زاجل نحن وبالبيت نعمل تحدي زاجل نحن وبالبيت
لك هاللعبة منك قدها وحتفوت بالحيط وما تتفلسف علي انتي بالذات وما تتفلسف علي انتي بالذات
الكوف اوف خدنا بحلمك شي شوي يا خي وتطلع لك بكم ردي من مستواك طلع لك بكم ردي من مستواك وإذا فكر حالك شغلي بالتيك توكات حط
You
لي
think you're a big
صوتي
shot with your
برا
TikTok?
وشوف اللايكات
صوتك حلو بيجنن متل فيروز لكن بالزاجل وحدة الكلمة بتفوز بعرفك غيران مني عم جيب فيوز تعلم يا حبيبي فني من الفيديوهات
اوف 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 يا باي صاير عم تحكي وتنصحني بفنك انت طول عمر الناس بتشهد انك انت طول عمر الناس بتشهد انك بتزيزق ما بتغني بتزيزق ما بتغني وجاي عم تحكي عني واذا فكرك انه فني فن وليدات يا حبيبي اللي بيسمعني بيصرخات يا اشقر منك قدي بالرنديات انت وفنك ما بشيلك ب5 فرنجات
قالك اوف اوف اوف
Like how in parentheses it's worthless. Okay. This is so fucking cool. Especially with like coming up with notes and melodies, tunes to be singing while you're doing it, as well as with the words and responding to what people are saying. This is so creative. Like, holy shit.
اوف يا باي يا شادي التحدي كبير وانت منك من قده وهالردية شي تعتير منا زجل يشده شعرك ببين صغير المشعر يوقف حده أبياتك كلها تكسير شعرك قوافي
Exactly, rap
بده
battles, poetry battles.
كبريائك صار كتير كبر وزاد عن حده جاك الأشقر يا فقير تيمسح فيك الساحات نعمل تحدي زاجل نحن وبالباد
اوف 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 يا باي فاكر ايام الكنا نعمل جلسات وانت تبقى مضيعنا بكل النوتات
I'll turn up the
انت
volume a
تبقى
little bit.
مضيعنا بكل النوتات إلاك اعطيني عجم تعطي بيات والعالم كلها تفهم انه انطفت ساعة اللي يسمعوا صوتك يكبوا الكاسات وتبقى على صوتي وحدة بتملى الكاسات نعمل تحدي زاجل نحن وبالبيت نعمل تحدي زاجل نحن وبالبيت
الهيئة نسيت البدايات وعنتر عما تعمل لي من علمك المقامات دخلك يا شادي قلي بين الصبا والبيات يا ما كنت تضيع لي وجاي
Exactly.
بهالرديات بالزجل تتحدلي. تذكر الزجل كاسات من شعري أنا بملي بعلي بحلي بسلي وأنا اللي بخلاق الجلسات.
Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. This is my first YouTube video. I had no idea what I was doing. I hope you really enjoyed it.
What?
If you know Arabic, I hope you enjoyed the Zajal. And if you don't, I hope you enjoyed learning about it. And see you in the next video.
Thank you for teaching us about Zajal. I need a cigarette. I smoked one earlier today. There are some cool cigarettes, like the KOOL ones, that a friend brought me from Japan. They're very good. They're flavored because they're not allowed in Utah, which in my job and working for the Tobacco Prevention and Control Program, we work to limit flavored tobacco products, so whoops. Anyway, my goal there was mostly to decolonize. Working with community organizations was the best part by far. Especially working with local tribes in like facilitating any sort of like education about traditional tobacco. How to roll up the green kind. Need the cig to mix in into the spliff. Amazing. 7 packs in 1 month. I mean, in 1 month, I feel like that's pretty good. All right, this is something else that you shared, Linton. Thank you so much, and namaste to you for these amazing finds. Also, I was not pronouncing it correctly. I was saying Zajal, which is Zajal. So, I apologize. Traditional Zajal Poetry by Fadi Fayed.
تكون قائد كلمتك كلمة احمل سلاح المنطق العلمي وحمول شمعة نور تضوي الليل ولا تضل تشكي وتلعن الظلمة فكرك الخيال وكتابك خيل ودربك رسمها المنهج السلمي.
Which honestly, if you're getting cigarettes from indigenous people and tribes, a lot of the time it's healthier anyway. That's not to say like every single time, but if there are not all of these additives from big tobacco, these large companies owned by capitalists, like that's a great way to decolonize. Like what it was originally about is about tradition and ceremony. How we even got tobacco plants to begin with. That will change if you ever make it to Vietnam or China. Amazing. The tobacco bongs, yep.
احلم إذا للمجد عندك مايل ما أروعك تحلم بأهدافك وتوصل وتندى حققت حلمي تتكون قائد همك التغيير وبالمجتمع تتكون شخصية بالجامعة اتعب بعد تتصير وتحصل على شهادات علمية وخلي التواصل منهج وتدبير بكل النواحي الاجتماعية ولما النخوة تعوز قلب كبير كون بصفوف الطليعية وساعة ما أرضك تطلب التحرير تنفس هوا لبنان حرية استقوي على كل الناس بالتفكير بس مش بالطائفة والدين والمرجعيات السياسية. وكلمة بوجهها لزملائي المبدعين بقول يا قادة فكر يا قلاع الصلابي، على إلهامكن هالجيل رابي. تفوقكن عملتوا الفرق كله من مشاريع إبداع وإهابي. الغرب طاقاتهم عم يستغلوا المبدع ملهم الجيل الشبابي. لأعلى مركز المبدع وصلوا بطريق الاقتراع الانتخابي. وتنقشع عقد لبنان حلوا. لازم قادة الإبداع هن يكونوا بالوزارة وبالنيابة. آخر مقطعين، بتعرفوا جاي مونديال هلا على لبنان، جاي مونديال كأس العالم، رح نحضره بلبنان، ما حنشارك أكيد. الفرق بين جمهور المونديال وجمهور الباسكتبول بلبنان وجه الشبه. قول 80,000 وأكثر شوي من شعوب شرقية وغربية لبسوا حضارات الأمم عنوان ورسموا اللوحة المونديالية وخسر.
Didn't realize this didn't have subs. I know. I mean, unless you were like clicking on it and watching it through, there was no way to know. Yeah, exactly. It sounds amazing.
بيهني خصم ربحان
Snaps.
من نعمة الروح الرياضية. بتقشع برازيلي جنب طليان وبتشوف روسي حد هندية وأفقر طفل جاي شبه عريان جنب الملوك الرأسمالية. بطلع بتاني عين على لبنان بي الحرف ببلاد شرقية. بلاقي الرياضة قسمة الأديان والطائفية لحن غنية. وبعرف وزير الأمن ناوي كان يلغي مباراة بكرة سلة أحسن ما تعمل حرب أهلية. يا شاب لبناني يا إنساني، الله عطاك شعور رباني. بتقدر تروح تعيش باسطنبول وتصير تركي بفكر عثماني. بتقدر تروح وتحترف فوتبول وتصبح برازيلي وألماني. بتقدر تروح وبتقدر تقلد إخوان الغول وتصير مكسيكي وأمريكاني. وفيك تتملك بليماسول وتصير قبرص بيتك الثاني. لكن حتى يصير فيك تقول انت لبناني مرجلاني تفيا تحت في الارز عطول. وكل ما الخطر بدق عبابك احمل بارودة جيش لبناني. شكرا لكم.
Very cool. All right. Okay, so this was an article that you shared, Linton, that I think is excellent. Also, I do share the links for resources, videos that we go over on the stream in the Discord. Do I do this after every stream? No, I'll be honest about this, but I do try to do it sometimes. Okay. Tracing History, Identity in Palestinian Music. This is by the Palestine Conservatoire of Music Orchestra. Tracing the history of Palestinian music reveals a rich, textured tapestry of writing and symbolism. Palestinian folk music provides a glimpse of both the joy and struggles of the Palestinian people. Glimpse to both the joy and struggles of the Palestinian people. At the heart of that music is a reflection of the Palestinian experience, and most importantly, the Palestinian identity. Exactly. Free Palestine. Before the Nakba, little is known about the development of folk music prior to the 20th century. Oral tradition was the primary method of transmission for music and poetry, which were passed down through generations. Yeah, and so, like, when we talk about here of this, like, so-called, like, hysteria of declining literacy rates, it's like, I think it's good for people to know how to read if that's what they are interested in. But most importantly, we should be focused on learning, which should not be exclusive to the written word, because the written word has historically been used by colonizers to impose this ethnic supremacist dominance, to invisibilize especially cultures where there are oral traditions. Al-Zajal, a poetry form traced back to as early as the 10th to 12th century, was the ancestor of Palestine's modern music. Zajal involved oral poetry backed by percussion, covering heavy topics like life, love, death, and nostalgia. Yep, sounds like poetry. Its presence was strongest in the Levant, where the influence on Palestinian tradition is apparent. In rural areas, farmers adopted a handful of working songs. Weddings were the hub of celebration and music, and the dabke was commonplace during wedding ceremonies. During the Ottoman period, Palestine was home to restless, traveling musicians who hosted local performances and concerts. Musicians and Zajalines, storytellers who practiced Zajal, traveled through Palestine en route to Egypt or other parts of the Levant. Prior to the occupation, the music of Palestine evolved rapidly, particularly during the British Mandate period. Western music began to dominate the global stage in the early to mid 1900s, which influenced Palestinian music. Palestinian musicians made use of the piano and guitar and took inspiration from jazz and classical music. So this is Jerusalem musicians. What's the name of this photo? That doesn't look like a photo. Looks like it's painted. Songs of resistance. After the tragedy of the Nakba, Palestinian music, particularly folk music, took a drastic shift. It stayed true to its roots while adopting themes of unity and embracing nationalism. The Palestinian nationalist movement long predates the Nakba, but it manifested in music more frequently and emphatically. The desire for self-determination wasn't a statement, it was a core part of the people's shared identity. Radio stations in Jerusalem were shut down, and the study of music continued in secret in Beersheba University. A small number of displaced composers kept creating music, evolving the Palestinian sound further from Western inspirations. Anthems speaking of displacement and violence, which focused on rallying people to the cause, were popular post-Nakba. After 1967, groups like Al-Baraim and Al-Ashikin infused the classic Palestinian sound with continued promotion of national identity. Composition modernized while nationalism reached a more widespread audience in Palestine and beyond. In the 80s, the famous band Sereen came into prominence. Composer Saeed Murad took inspiration from Palestinian poetry as well as Arab and Western music styles. The result was a distinct flavor of Palestinian music that defined the modern era. Sereen's sharp songwriting highlighted the relevance of Palestinian identity in the contemporary age. Infamous rap group Dam released their first song in the late 90s, rapping in Arabic, English, Hebrew. They blend sounds across the Middle East in their sampling and were unafraid to speak on Palestinian politics, the 2000s and beyond. The first and second Intifada periods of severe political unrest saw a spike in protest music. The foundation of hip-hop group Ramallah Underground came at the height of the second Intifada and boasted politically charged music that resonated with youth culture. In an interview with Mixmag, the group's co-founder, Mukata, describes his experience as a colonized subject. He recounts the immense sadness he felt upon visiting Haifa, knowing his identity limited his ability to create music with friends outside the West Bank. In fact, the center of Mukata's new music is empowerment, demonstrating the significance of identity in Palestinian music. A key factor in the evolution of Palestine's music is the development of dabka as an art form. The emergence of electronic and Afro-dabka is part of the modern era of Palestinian music and showcases identity in a unique way. Most notably, Arab Idol winner and prolific singer Mohammed Asaf released the defining song of the modern Palestinian resistance, Ana Dami Falistini, My Blood is Palestinian. Very cool. Palestinian identity is a rock that has weathered the storm of occupation and war. It has inspired the musical traditions and politics of neighboring countries while platforming a unique identity. Now the music of Palestine has taken a wide variety of forms, and it will continue to evolve. Nonetheless, identity will remain the foundation of Palestine's music and remain a salient point in songwriting. Through its expression in music, one thing is clear. Palestinian identity is built on undying hope. Amazing. Free Palestine. Free Palestine, free Sudan, free the Congo, free all oppressed people. Especially from imperialism. Okay, so this artist that you shared, Linton, Zajal Madi Sabah, I did want to share some of his content. I'm just choosing one of these. There's so many that look good. I mean, not like I'm even educated enough to know the difference. Whole lot of clips from all around the region showcased on that channel. Amazing. You're so thorough with your research. Thank you. Comments turned off.
يا أنس مالك زعلان شكلك والله عشقان ولي يا أنس مالك زعلان شكلك والله عشقان ولي يا الله ولد على الدنيا ما أسأل هاللي بشوف الوجوه بيزعل اللي عدينا عالتابوت بالهضبة بسنينه مبسوط وبالأخير من محمود وللجولان والله هو العشقان في مثله بالبلاد يا ابن السلك يا رواد وقت الجد وقت الجد والله ما بستبعد
Kind of a sudden ending. We have a short.
أنا اللي تعاد أسأل عن العراني وأنا لقيته متخبي ومتعلق جواني خزاني وما عنده أي ربي ولا عنده فطاني لو كان الميسيسيبي ما بيعبي للفنجان الأجانب في الدم يسأل عني اليوم.
Oh, this is from the same account. Okay.
طلت عليه أمي قالت له محمد عالشمس راح يعلم للأمي ولاكو عوار يعطي درس همك يا بني الهمي استسلم مزاح الميدان المرة أجا داري أجا دار الأكرم يتعلم من أفكاري يتعلم صار مثل البخاري صار اسمه المتيم إذا بيسكن جواري بيصير الأول بالزمان أنا مرة روحت عدارو أنكر أبواب ونكرة طلوا علي صغارو كلي بوجوده ما بندرة طلع معمي كمارو وتزبى ورا الصبرة ندير العران عيارو أو جاي يكوي له بنيران الأجا عندي على الدور بالوفا يستناني وقفته عندي كثر ما في زجاني تعلمهم للشعور والفن الارتجاني كنوا العراني ناطور ما بحطوه بالبستان انا اللي روحت عادر اسال عن العراني وانا لقيته متخبي.
Okay, let's watch this other short that you shared.
غني من اقوى الكلام بالك ابن ابو بسام عمل لك حاقل الغام واوعك تعلق بالكمين اللي يعلق بال النعماني متعلي بالفطاني اعطيني هاي المهجاني او تاج بدو على الجنبين انا اسمي حوت ومن
ببيروت وباسمي بيتغنى الحوت السردين بقلبي يفوت وما رح تطلع يا سردين
انا قبطان السفينة جلماوي فتح بعيني بدي مثلك دزيني بدللهم على الايدين
انا حي سيد ولابو العم ابو العم يشيل الهم للحبايب كيفه كمل ورد الجوري والياسمين
قادر هالليلي ارد الجلماوي لو على مجده جايين الليلي وحده وانا بدي منه 2000
على الله يعينك بالمجال ما إلك على ارتجال لو انك بحجم جبال ورح شيلك على الاصبعين
This is the first time I noticed.
من اقوى الكلام قبالك ابن ابو بسام
That was not made very clear. I guess there's a guy's head there. No, expecting. I love that though. A couple that I could find with translation. I don't know how complete they are since direct translations can be hard. No, that's true. Thank you for sharing those too. I know maybe there are some. There's some more shorts. There's so many. Incredible. I'm curious about this, the most recent one.
الوسط وحاجب نسر تصيد البط راح ارفع بالصدر الضغط وبدك ابرد تكلو فيه
بصدش البط انا عالدور ومتعود اصيد نصور اما البلبل العصفور قصير بعده الجناحين
انا مش متعود على هالسولا على البط ولا على الوز ضربة كف ننزل لس بلس الطوبة وارض الصيد
انا جبت العتم وجبت النور وجبت الصور وجبت سطور جبت اسنان الديناصور واعطيت البلبل نابين
لك جبت الفوق وجبت التحت وجبت سرير وجبت التحت جبت الفرح وجبت المجد وتفرح قلب الحزين
بتغلبني بالسهرية وبشهد كل الاهلية اذا بتشوف الحي بتمشي ع 4 جرين
انا حراني ما بترهبني وبكلامك ما بتعجبني بس بمرة بتغلبني ان صديت حمية بسني
يا بلبل هدي لجنونك الليلي بدي جفنونك بتغلبني شافوا عيونك اخلند يقيلوا عينين
اخلند يخسك لك الركاب وبرضه يكسر لك الركاب هد الباب فتحت الباب 12 باب على الميل يا حراني حس الوسط
Amazing. Okay, there was this artist Sereen that came out with a new song that you shared, Linton, that this is my first time reacting. I'm very excited to hear this song. She has such incredible art. Wildly talented. Wildly talented. That's the adult drink speaking right now.
الدورية وبلادي فلسطينية والأرض المقدسية عادي نفديها بالأرواح.
What you know about life in the West? To sit back, observe, and I'm on a side quest. To bit back my words, and I wanna fight next. To sit trapped in bird's nest, I'm under white stress. Possessed, now it's in the press. Eyes on all sides, there's a guy in a vest. Assessed, hold my breath. Dark skin, brown eyes with his hand on his chest. Shots fired, take cover, take flight. Bombs wide, black flags, white lives. Ceasefire, white men on files. Our lives, headlines on trial. Black lives, another death in prison. Gold mine, going wet to blood thickening. Palestinian, راح يموت بالسجن. I couldn't give a fuck. Now we gon' keep on living. Woo!
Ooh.
ببلش بالعربي فبتفتش الشنطة عالظهري بتناقش بقهري وانا تكة حيضرب حتشوفوا بتكهرب بين انتماء بين احتلال people can stomach they stay in denial بين ابتلاء بين الخيال do not be concerned is what you tell yourself gunfire take cover take flight bombs wide black flags, white lives, ceasefire. Epstein on files, under 5. Damn sick pedophiles, black lives, another death in prison. Gold mine, go and watch the blood thicken. Palestine, I with precision. I couldn't give a fuck, but now we gon' keep on living.
The writing is incredible.
Dress, but a mess.
The writing, like how you're saying the Zajal sample. Yeah, it all just talking about liberation and humanity, like humanizing and also resistance. But the music itself, even like the format of it, is so creative and original. Like even the electronic, like the synths there that are like, that was not a great representation of what it was just doing, but it's all of these choices that build to make something that is truly great.
But the tainting my image on the press.
That's the synth I was talking about.
Watch your step, how you dress, what a mess. But the tainting my image on the press.
Incredible. Queer applause. That is such a cute emote, Dina. Okay. I was gonna bring in something that I wanted to show for Culture Corner, a recent record that I got because I'm pretentious and I like listening to records. But also the more of like physical media I have, the more I'm like, okay, I exist in the real world. We exist in a world with physical things and it can't just be taken at any moment and hidden behind a paywall, you know, all of that. I did want to show this song while I go get that record that I'm excited to show you all. This is Fatoumata Diawara, Tati Bakari. Yeah, exactly. Free Palestine. And for those of you who don't know, the cat carrying the Palestinian flag, that was an emote that Linton created. The emotes that we have here are ones that Linton made. That is one of my cats, Juniper, and then the white cat is Kit. Okay. I've seen this before, so I know what is in store. But I will play this while I'm getting this record. Juniper getting strong, waving the flags, I know. Okay, I'll be right back.
Bakari, Ida, Ismail. You will
bluzunindo foyere Atonganga bluzunindo daye Atati bakari changanga bluzunindo daye
Stunning. In memory of my father, Tati Bakari. Have the lyrics just talking about loss and grief and pain and death of loved ones, but also like transmuting it into something beautiful, like still continuing with life after and honoring loved ones who have passed on. Yeah, I really enjoy Fatoumata Diawara. She's from Mali, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah. Malian singer-songwriter and actress. Currently living in France? I didn't know that. Yeah, the like styling and the shots of that music video too, just stunning. Incredible. Okay. I have another song. But first, Tina, you just subbed? Thank you. Aww. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Welcome. We're glad to have you here. All right. This is the record that I got. Let's see. There we go. That's better. This is the Prince album by, you guessed it, Prince. This was Prince's second album, and his first album, oh god, I should know this. I fucking love Prince so much. Prince albums. I just don't want to misspeak. For You. I was about to say Love for You, but that's wrong. I meant just sub to the singer. Oh, I mean, amazing. Love that too. And no need to apologize. That's on me for misinterpreting. Incredible. Yeah, go support her. She's an incredible artist, making amazing music. Yeah, so Prince's album, his first album, For You, he wrote when he was 19, and it did not get a whole lot of notice. And for the second album, there were many executives that, especially at the label that he was with, they were hesitant to be even encouraging to have him on for a second album because the first one didn't do that well. For You, by the way, all of Prince's albums are incredible. I'm really glad that young people, it seems, especially those like who are on TikTok more, in the way I'm saying that, you can tell that I'm not on TikTok. That I don't know if it's Prince's music being used more or Prince just being venerated more. Whatever the cause is, I'm really glad that young people seem to be liking Prince more these days. I think that's great for culture. No, you're good. I also just misinterpreted, so no worries. This album, Prince, is really what shot him into stardom, especially with I Want to Be Your Lover. Like, I got no money. I like those other guys hang round. Like that song. I love every single song on this album. And there is one song, Bambi, that is incredible, especially when it comes to like his solos in it, that is problematic in the way that it is about he's trying to convince a woman to be with him instead of other women. So that's not what I would prefer, but also like Prince being very queer in presentation, also speculatively queer in identity, but not like openly. At least like talking about his sexuality. Clearly, he was a magnet just for human beings, I think. Yes, Water, Prince is awesome. I fucking love Prince. And Prince does a ton of growing throughout the course of that whole career. Yeah, exactly. And with so many styles, so much change. Exactly. Ugh, I love that we're talking about Prince. Because of him going from like more disco sounds and like funk and to like punk sounds and rock, clearly just all over the place, like an R&B, where he not only was such a talented songwriter, because he was in terms of like being original and also having things that were very catchy, but he also was able to like have that balance of creating something that sounds familiar while still having it be something new and attributed to his own sound. Early jazz, funk, Prince is priceless. I know. He has so many good eras. Just style icon, the fashion. He also, like, not only was just like super hot, um, but just so original and unapologetically himself, of like not willing to, like, when people were like, so how exactly, like, who are you fucking exactly? And him just being like, I'm just me, okay? Also him being like, I'm not a woman or a man. I'm something you'll never understand. Lyrics that he wrote. Like, when I first heard Prince, that was a moment in culture where I felt like it changed my brain chemistry. Like, I think the first song I heard by Prince was Kiss. That is very, like, stereotypical, I guess. But I was like, who is this? I was an RC Willie. I remember. It's like a very Utah. Um, I don't think they're exclusive to Utah. Maybe there are some in Idaho, but they're a furniture store. And I have a thing, especially with music, of like, if I hear something that I'm enjoying, that's like all I can focus on. I'm like, who is this? I remember that very distinctly. Also, we were in RC Willie, like, going to get free hot dogs, and I like could not care less about it. I was like, I have to know who this is. So that really, and then like seeing Prince, and also with like Prince's gender presentation, the non-binary, like, inner me was like, yeah, yeah. The queer conundrum of being like, do I want to be someone? Do I want to be with someone? You know? But Prince is such an incredible technician when it comes to musicianship, that, like, he was a wildly talented instrumentalist. Like, especially with these first two albums that he wrote, For You and this, he played all of the instruments. So recording took a very long time because he played all of the instruments, but he was so incredibly prolific of releasing a ton of albums. But like, let's see. Like, all of the acknowledgments. Yeah, all selections written by Prince, so him writing all of the lyrics, him playing all of these instruments. He had remixed by Prince as well. He didn't like engineer exclusively, so like this is engineered by Gary Brandt, but he did help with a lot of the engineering with a lot of his albums. He was very hands-on with his art. So like the concept created by Prince, him on a Pegasus. Like, are you kidding? This is perhaps one of my favorite songs on this album. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. It features such a hard guitar solo that we need to share. The fact that like Prince was so wildly multi-talented, and also by some, like, him not being acknowledged by like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as one of the like lead, like, best guitarists of all time, it led him to have this moment of like performing for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where he just like, he just outperformed everybody in this live performance with all of these like basic white dudes, and he goes on stage, and I may have to play that after this. I'll find that. blowout. So even though we're seeing all of these people in the background, in order for him to be doing this recording of this music video, doing it live, he, in order to create the track itself, was able to do all of these parts. He's like a modern day Mozart, but hotter. Also, he can dance. Stage presence. That's not something you can teach someone. People can get like better at it, but like yeah, you either have it or you don't. He also popularized a lot of the synth sounds that were very common in the 80s, that like, because this album came out in 1979, that this was pretty new of a sound. This guitar solo. Like what? That guitar solo like gets me hot. The like sapiosexual experience. I'm like, what is the sexuality of just like being turned on by talent? That's probably just called human. Maybe. And also he's such an incredible vocalist. Like, yeah, this is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that I was talking about earlier. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, written by George Harrison, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, Steve Winwood, Donnie Harrison, and Prince. Donnie, so that is a Hindi name because George Harrison liked Indian culture. He even learned how to play the sitar from Ravi Shankar's wife. So, you know, there is like a problematic history there, but I think he in general tried to be respectful, but also like popularizing the sound of the sitar, of it kind of giving a permission structure for white people to be like engaging in more Orientalism and such. This is the fact that Prince is listed last is shameful. But this is a tribute to George Harrison. So they're like, okay, we have to include his son. Still not access the Discord messages. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I will check that out after this. Sorry about that. Can you see the ones that like you have sent, or is it just ones in the past? Idiots. That's who. Also, Prince, he's like steps forward into the light. We're going to show you what true musicians compared to what these dudes were doing. Like, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. Yeah, it seems like it was also very racist. I don't even know who was on the list, but like Prince should have been at the top. Prince often, I think now in hindsight, people are like, oh, Prince was an incredible instrumentalist in addition to a singer and just like artist in general. But like, that's what's hard about when people are ahead of their time. They often are not given the credit that they deserve during their lifetime. VOB 100% clears every single musician on. Son has not seen anything like this before. Did you see his face? Prince leaning against someone. He's like, not only am I going to show you what technical skill is like, I'm going to put on a show. We have to be united in some way. He has to like dial it back because they can't keep up. He throws his guitar and leaves. As he fucking should. That is what we call a performance. All right. Per usual, I had so many things planned that I was like, will we be able to get to everything? Probably not. I do think I will be streaming tomorrow though, so I'll let you know. Through the Discord, or if you have your Twitch notifications turned on and you're following. Also, I announced it on Instagram and TikTok. Am I active on these platforms? No. Do I plan to be even more active? I don't know about this. I can't promise anything. But there's this submission that you shared, Linton. Okay. I know I have said that we're going to talk about Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft, and I keep putting it off because I keep planning too many things. But I think I'll show this tomorrow. Culture Corners. Culture Weekend. Does culture ever end? Culture cannot be confined. Culture cannot be cornered. Okay, I'll stop. This is by Knucks, Masquerade, and I have not listened to this song or watched this music video, so I'm excited for this reaction. Oh wait, I should probably refresh it so it doesn't yell at me. Dina, thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate you. Yay! I hope you don't feel guilted into it. All the same, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome to the community. Using the emotes that Linton made. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying.
Yo,
I'm excited to have you.
I've been telling
here.
myself before anything else I'm an African man. I've been to the village, I know all my kin like the back of my hand. I've been dealing with women and feelings that you couldn't catch if you can. I run till I'm back to my head on your lap.
What? Okay, already so fucking cool. The masks, the dress, traditional dress. And the heart got split on my end by the formatting. Which heart? With the cats? It's looking pretty pristine on my end. Oh, he already has captions. I'll turn these bitches off.
On the sun. Come on, come on, yeah, yeah, no, no, yeah, come on, come on, yeah, 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 come on, come on, yeah, yeah, come on, come on, yeah. Big house in the belly of Britain, but still eating okra soup. They don't understand I'm an African man. What you want me to do? I have mine with a spoon. They thinking I'm cool. We're trying to be bougie. I learned it from school when boarding they ruled. Your hands are for duty. Yeah, counting
in
the
the previous message.
Yeah, hand on
Okay,
the backs.
gotcha.
Wait, thought it was different. Wait, that was a nat. Wait, could this really be the same Knucks that was using the bucket to bath? Or the one that won't pick up the phone because you don't want to trouble the staff?
Okay, not to be annoying, this song is not long enough. Already, we're more than halfway through? No. I'm gonna, because I'm not familiar with Knucks, I'm going to be looking up his stuff. Once again, incredible recommendation, Linton. Thank you very much. It is the sign of a true artist if you know how to have levels to a piece. I mean, whatever it is, but like for musicians specifically, of like letting the melody in the background to breathe, of like it being a pretty like simple melody and then building and building so you actually have somewhere to go. The Trere t-shirt in the beginning, yep.
Yo, a story my mom used to tell me that happened in Nige when I was a baby. They threw a parade in the village with dancing and drinking in front of the ladies. This one had a masquerade that came. My mom had me up on her waist.
Do you see like the color grading of these shots, like the places that they're shooting as well, and like the styling along with it, just so like the aesthetics are just incredible, and then just complement the sound. Music videos for this album went so hard. It seems like it. We probably have enough time for what you shared, Linton, and then what you're sharing, Boonso, and then we'll get into the reading.
They thought that I gasped but pulled a little mask right off of his face. It kind of reminds me of problems I've gone through today. Pulled off the mask on a couple of things, and since then it wasn't the same. If you knew the half, you wouldn't believe me. It come like a movie. If you saw the mask I pulled in my past, you think I was running with Scooby. Yo, I've been telling myself before anything else I'm an African man. I've been to the village, I know all my kin like the back of my hand. I've been dealing with women and feelings that you couldn't catch if you can. I run till I'm back to my head on your lap, on my back on the sand.
Yep. T-shirt at the beginning. Incredible. This is a song that I've been wanting to play for Culture Corner. Maybe we'll play this tomorrow. Yeah, you can suggest a song, Aliana. We probably have enough time for this one from Linton and then yours, and then we'll get into the reading. I can be shy about like when my own videos come up, so I try to just ignore it. Like all the recommended. My name is my name. Yeah, and from what you were saying, Linton, of like this album being about him reclaiming culture that has been colonized out of his identity, like that is so powerful. Have you heard of a cure for paranoia? No. Ooh. I'm excited to learn more.
Yo, what's really in the name? Known as a man of many in theory, but really I'm the same. But everyone has history, and it goes merely as it came. It's the same with your pick-me. I'm my father's son like he picked me. Away, at 12 was spending for self-hope, born in was jail when the cell pulled me. 14 got a bit more keen, 16 got my kicks so clean. 18 had the same regime but was playing the game while the game played me. Did plenty at 19 and 20, my name in your mouth, now right on your telly. Had dreams of being the man at 12 with a gold rollie on my hand. Now the gold rollie on my hand, is that a dream or really a plan? Family calling me a fam, like I'm down to the road to keep family close. Back when I felt that was a fault, then I did, but I'm glad I don't. There was a feeling I carried alone till I landed from nights like honey, I'm home. Then I end up changing my name. Glad then, but today I'm ashamed. They always fucked up my shit in the semi. Denji, I looked at my sister with envy, cause she got called by an English name. And I wish the same, but what's really in the name? Known as a man of many in theory, but really I'm the same. But everyone has history, and it goes merely as it came. It's the same with your pick-me. I'm my father's son like he picked me. Away, at 12 was spending for self-hope, born in was jail when the cell pulled me. 14 got a bit more keen, 16 had my kicks so clean. 18 had the same regime but was playing the game where the game played me. Did plenty at 19 and 20, my name in your mouth now right on your telly. Started uni, they like me already, like how have we met? Yeah, my name is Ashley. My name had a ring, it's catchy. Bass thought I was great like Gatsby, but I weren't moving subtle enough, I changed it from Knuckles to Knucks. She pre my ID on the first day for my surname, but I covered it up. Now I barely hear FM at all, but I'm moving with tact and I'm fashionable. All telling the baddies to call man Ash, coming talking and yash, I'm catching them all. Was in the back of the lecture room getting my name wrong, feeling like Aaron. But now I'm indoors with a bunch of awards with my long ass African name on. But what's really in the name? Known as a man of many in theory, but really I'm the same. But everyone has history, and it goes merely as it came. It's the same with your pick-me. I'm my father's son like he picked me. Away, at 12 was spending for self-hope, born in was jail when the cell pulled me. 14 got a bit more keen, 16 had my kicks so clean. 18 had the same regime but was playing the game where the game played me. Did plenty at 19 and 20, my name in your mouth now right on your telly.
I have him saying covering up his last name because people don't know how to say it.
Get off, faggot. Get off, faggot.
I can relate to that. Damn. That's another really good one. Ooh. Failed State, American Anarchist song.
When you're working
Singer-songwriter David
jobs and
Lovitz.
living in a tent, when a house costs $1 million and you can't pay the rent, when politicians say they'll help but it keeps getting worse each time the landlord lobby pulls the strings of the purse, when the human right to housing isn't even part of the debate, you know you're living in a failed state.
Well, exactly.
When millions of citizens are spending
Sure
half
about
their
the production
lives
credits
locked up in
and
a
the
prison for
Ooh,
trying
I love
to
that.
survive. When laws must be broken just to
That's
have
really
a
cool.
place to stay. When the prisons pay the senators to look the other way. If you have to be a criminal to put food upon your plate, you know you're living in a failed
criminal.
state. When you're facing climate breakdown, when the trees are all on fire, when half the country's underwater, when a climate change denier runs the nation and the opposition party votes for oil rigs and pipelines. This is not so much a country as it is a corporation buckling under its weight. You know you're living in a failed state.
Yep, when the country is a corporation supporting corporations, that's capitalism.
When your nation is an empire facing daily blowback, and the only thing your leaders can think to do is attack. Bipartisan consensus that we need to spend $700 billion the year's end on a military budget to make America great. You know,
Yep.
you're living in a failed state.
When did this come out? 2026. Oh, but it was in 2017.
When almost every day some psycho with a gun has to open fire on a crowd before it's done. When a music festival becomes a free fire zone and all they can say is it's okay now he was acting alone. Buy some armor, pray to God, and hide behind a gate. You know you're living in a failed state. You know you're living in a failed state.
Yep. Where's
You know
the lie?
you're living in a failed state.
Another great suggestion. Thank you for sharing.